of dirty clothes and an empty tank of gas. And I can't count the days that I've been gone. This truck stop life I'm living is getting old real fast. And I've been away from you for far too long. And I've seen the sunrise in Missouri, celebrated Texas strong, dance like a fool down in New Orleans. And I've sung that Tennessee song. I've kissed a pair of blue eyes in that Rocky Mountain high. Forgive me evergreen till I die. Come on!
We coined the term Cascade Country. Doing country here in the Northwest is unusual, and I understand that. I've thought about moving to Nashville before. Thought about moving to Texas as well. And actually, when my wife and I got married, in our vows, it talks about us moving to Texas because we were going to move to Texas. But we looked at it, and Nashville has a very specific sound coming out at any given time, and Texas has their own specific sound as well. And I thought, there's a lot of people that are doing this up here, and there's no need for them to have to move if they don't want to. If they want to, for those opportunities, good for them. I want to live here. And so I thought, we have a different take on it, and it's just a little more raw, a little more rock. You know, we're not talking about sweet tea and Firefly.
Give me evergreen until I die.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, Aaron Crawford's Cascade Country will make anyone want to put on their dancing boots. Welcome to Band in Seattle.
Gas where I buy my worms, drop a line before I head to work. And that sounds strange, but it isn't just a song to me. Ladies first through an open door, big mud tires on my 4x4. You can make fun of that, but it isn't just a song to me. It isn't just a song to me, it's how I live, blue collar destiny. You only get what you give. Never wanna change who I am. Still yes sir and thank you ma'am. If you don't like that, don't give a damn. It isn't just a song to me.
Yeah, a lot of people live these things, and it's not just a song to them. Like, the first line is, I pump my gas where I buy my worms. And I wrote that about my buddy Will, because he actually does that. And I drop a line before I head to work. That guy gets up, goes to work at a job where he's got to be there at 7, but he goes fishing before that. That blows my mind. And so these things are actually pulled from real life. It's not an anthem for blue collar, but to just say, look, it's not just a song to me. It's how I live.
It isn't just a song to me. It's how I live, a blue collar destiny. You only get what you give. Never gonna change who I am. Still yes sir and thank you ma'am. If you don't like that, don't give a damn. But it's just a song to me.
So yeah, I mean, I grew up in the church like a lot of musicians. There's kind of that legacy of musicianship. Mom played the keyboard, my dad played bass, guitar, trombone, a lot of different instruments, and Grandpa before that. The church I was in, there was a drum set, and my parents would not leave church because they'd be talking to everyone, so I thought I'll go in there and just start banging on the drums, and that'll get them to leave, and that did not. They just shut the doors and kept talking to their friends. And so I started off, drums actually was my first technically instrument. I played clarinet in 5th grade, I don't count that.
It isn't just a song to me, it's how I live, a blue collar destiny. You only get what you give. Never wanna change who I am. Still yes sir and thank you ma'am. If you don't like that, don't give a damn.
When I was in junior high, I wanted to play football, but I was tiny. And my mom said you can play football if you enroll in choir as well. Football obviously did not stick at that size. The choir did. So went all the way through, did choir, and did well at that, and then into college, did choir and bands. The first band was a Christian rock band, and then we did another Christian rock band. I've always been into country. At that point, it hadn't been the forefront of what I listened to. These other bands were probably a little bit more melodic rock, but always Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson. I mean, that's what my grandpa grew up listening to. And then you always have, you know, through school, Brooks and Dunn and those kind of guys, big influence. So when I got the chance to do this, I kind of had to jump back in and see the state of country music at the time, and see if it was something at that point that I still was into. And sure enough, yeah, it absolutely was.
Let's have a good time now, come on. Come on, sir, the day is breaking, them cows won't feed themselves. Let's get it done. Backhand's on, come on down and get you some. Well, there's a fence to fix, there's a field to hoe. Gotta get that corn up in its rows. I know it's only old dark 30. It's time to get dirty, it's time to throw down. Ain't no use in sitting around like an old canal, napping in the sun. It's a one-shot deal, it's cut and dry. Gonna live life, red line, and while I ain't gonna waste this one-way journey, it's time to get dirty.
I've been playing with Aaron in this configuration for 7 years. He's an amazing frontman. He gets the audience involved in ways that I don't think I've ever really seen with anyone that I've played with, at least. He's able to engage people. He can get you into his space pretty easily.
I'm the new guy, for sure, so I haven't spent a ton of time with them, but everybody that I've spent time with that's even involved in any capacity, they're just so easy to work with. Everybody's a pro, everybody's happy.
He knows exactly what he wants, and he's able to communicate it really well. And for me, that's perfect. Like, I don't like beating around the bush. Like, just tell me what you want me to do, and we'll go that way. And obviously, he's a very talented musician, so that helps too.
I'm a musician, man. I'll play anything as long as it's great, and his stuff was great, so. All the guys are just easy to work with, and it's a lot of laughter and a lot of fun.
It's a one-shot deal, it's cut and dry. Gonna live life, red line, and while I ain't gonna waste this one-way journey, it's time to get dirty. Yeah. It's time to get dirty. Yeah. It's time to get dirty.
After the break, find out more about Aaron Crawford.
Took my soul and you won't let go.
So those guys at any given moment can step in and play a 4-hour show. It takes a while to find those guys, and then you find them and you're like, okay, you put the hooks in them.
The ground, but you swing those hips, and just like there, you got me spinning.
Evergreen, that's my favorite song to play just because it's, I think, being from Seattle, it's really cool to have, that we have a song that's celebrating where we're from.
I got a suitcase full of dirty clothes and an empty tank of gas, and I can't count the days that I've been gone. This truck stop life I'm living is getting old real fast, and I've been away from you for far too long. And I've seen the sunrise in Missouri, celebrated Texas strong, dance like a fool down in New Orleans, and I've sung that Tennessee song. I've kissed a pair of blue eyes in that Rocky Mountain high. Forgive me, evergreen, until I die. Come on!
If the South can have all these songs, can't we just have one? And so we got together and we said, okay, what can we do? What can we do? And so we said, you can't mention salmon, you can't mention coffee, Space Needle is off limits, because we want it to be cool. So we wrote it from the idea of a love song to a woman but you're on the road and you just can't wait to get back to her. But the woman, of course, being the Northwest. And so the hook line of "Give me evergreen until I die." And so now it plays on the commercials all the time. It's "Give me evergreen." I heard it on the way here. And I was like, shut up, Aaron.
I've seen the sunrise in Missouri, celebrate Texas strong, dance like a fool down in New Orleans, and I've sung that Tennessee song. I kissed a pair of blue eyes in that Rocky Mountain. What? Give me evergreen until
I mean, the way I run my band, because I'm the guy, I hate saying that, but I'm the solo artist, and for me, I take every show that I want, regardless of the format, whatever it is, and then I have my A-team. And so I talk to my A-team guys, and if they take it, hopefully, but for the amount that I do, because this is my living, there's 3 behind each of them. And so those guys at any given moment can step in and play a 4-hour show. It's been, I wouldn't say a struggle, but you know, it takes a while to find those guys, and then you find them and you're like, okay, you put the hooks in them and keep them.
I wouldn't have believed it the day that I met you. Real little green eyes hair to you look right fine in your cowboy boots. Damn, I know you're the kind of girl that can make me come unglued. Every rose has its thorns, but you got more than your share, and that's the truth. And you took my soul and you won't let go. I tried so hard just to walk away, but you keep on telling me no, you're a trying to put me in the ground, but you swing those hips and just like there you got me spinning round and round.
I was trying a guitar player that I had known from previous bands to see if he'd fit for this. And I asked him if he knew any bass players. He said, I'll bring my buddy Nate. And so my guitar player friend came totally unprepared, and he'll tell you that. But Nate, this guy who I had not met, came in, he had everything typed out, notes done, everything. He's like, question about this song, is it like this or is it like this? And I was like, okay, man, I like you a lot.
Tell me that you want to play, and you took my soul and you won't let go. I tried so hard just to walk away, but you keep on telling me no, you're a...
You get a lot of bass players that they started out as guitar players and that field is too full. And so they say, oh, you know what, I can probably pick up the bass and get some gigs. But Nate is like, I'm a bass player. He doesn't even know how to play the guitar. And so he focuses on that. And he's really big into jazz, Motown and all that stuff. He's really into the bass guitar.
So it's good to have many different techniques that you can draw on, but as a bass player, the most important thing is serving the song. At least in country music, I find myself just playing the traditional standard finger style. Oftentimes flashy techniques get you fired. It's unappealing to a singer to be singing lyrics that he wrote that are meaningful to him and then having to hear a Seinfeld-esque line over the top of that.
And we both know that there's nothing I can do.
So Aaron, we affectionately refer to him as Deuce. He's been the longest tenured member of this band, but also previous bands. He brings the power. You know, we're always like, dude, can you be quieter? And he's like, I can't. There's passion.
Passionate, sometimes people say too loud, but like some of the earliest influences I had were like Keith Moon and some of those guys that were, you know, beating the snot out of the drums and stuff. So I'd always had to work down from playing too hard and too aggressive, but I've always played with a certain kind of feeling when I play. Like, I'd be the first one to say I might not be the most technical drummer, but at least you'll feel good, I think, when you listen to when I'm playing the drums.
He's my best friend. So there's a trust there, and it's a really cool dynamic because through the growth of my career, it could have gotten rocky there with the friend and moving up to, you know, really kind of having to take direction and view me as a boss per se, which I hate that word, but sometimes I just have to say this is what's going on. And to his credit, he is able to morph into those roles. Finds the best friend, but then he also finds the, okay, that's the guy, you guys shut up, we gotta do what he's saying. So yeah, he's just awesome.
Hurricane trying to put me in the ground, but you swing those hips and just like them, you got me spinning round and round.
When we return, uncover more about Aaron Crawford.
Deanna Lee, so she's the head of the Boot Boogie Babes. That's her tribe, and she has Boot Boogie Babes, the Boot Chicks, the Boot Girls. She has all these different levels, and she's doing amazing things with that group.
Reputation. told me find yourself a lady, but that kind of thing isn't working for me lately. You're the kind that ain't nobody's baby. Don't care about tomorrow. You're not trying to date me. You won't leave me alone. Blowing up my phone. You're solo like a freight train, and I can't take it. I got no place to go. The clock is getting low. Your crazy's about to go off, and I can't take it. You got a reputation, it ain't a good one. Being a temptation, no one can escape from. Everybody knows it ain't gonna last long. Girl, you are insane. Baby, you're a time bomb.
Deanna Lee, so she's the head of that, the Boogie Babes. And so she came to me and said, hey, would you let us do this? And so I said, sure. Whether they're just auditioning or whether they've made one of the teams have been so supportive of my music. I mean, we had, what, 30 of them here that night? So yeah, it's just really cool. Sometimes I kind of have to snap back into performing because I'm watching, I'm like, oh no, it's the next word. You know.
Can't take it, I'm hearing from my friends. This is how it ends, it's right down to the wire, and I can't take it. You got a reputation, it ain't a good one. Being a temptation, no one can escape from. Everybody knows it ain't gonna last long. Girl, you are insane. Baby, you're a time bomb.
John is actually the newest member of the band, and I wanted to find someone who I knew could handle all the chops and was into the rigorous schedule because we do about 100 shows a year.
It's a lot of songs. I don't know, I mean, I kind of joke with people, right? I've done this for so long. You're not gonna find anyone better at faking it and making it look great. It did take a lot more work with Aaron's stuff because it's very specific, not really like jammy. You're not like, I couldn't just sit in there and put in all my own little leads because he's got a great fan base and they're gonna wanna hear what they hear on the record and stuff like that. So I had to definitely like really hammer it home, and once I get the part, it's usually there for good.
Baby, you're a time bomb. You've got a reputation, it ain't a good one. Being a temptation, no one can escape from. Everybody knows it ain't gonna last long. Girl, you are insane. Baby, you're a time bomb. Let's give it up for the Boogie Babes. Thank you, ladies. Looking beautiful.
For a while, I was sponsored by a tequila company, Papa Bueno Tequila. They're based out of Seattle here. I'm just awesome guys, and they've supported me from the get-go. So they had given us a couple cases of tequila because Carrie was pregnant, and so they said, okay, here's a case for you and a case for her. Well, she can't drink while she's pregnant, and I took it upon myself that, hey, I got 2 cases of tequila now. And so as soon as I cracked into that second case, she was like, whoa, 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 that's my tequila. Your tequila is gone. So I was like, oh, we're gonna do like his and hers tequila, like his and hers towels now? And she's like, yes, we are. So that's where that hook came up from, is his and hers tequila.
We got our names framed in a handcart signed by the front door. There's a U-Haul in the driveway and our stuff sitting on the porch. I know we got a lot to do, but I'm already missing you in that 2-piece. I don't want the honeymoon to stop. Let's make a little staycation spot. You can shoot the silver, I'll be sipping right beside her. You can stop at one, maybe I'll start a quattro. Pushing boxes down, let's pour ourselves around. Turn this living room into a Mexican cantina. Drinking his and hers tequila. We're drinking his and hers tequila. You're unpacking towels, I'm just looking for the string lights. You're throwing pillows on the couch while I'm serving up the salt and lime.
My thing is I usually try and find the person in the crowd who looks like they're the least into it, and then it's just my goal to make that person the most into it. Because if you get them, you got everybody.
Yeah, I like to have fun. Like I'm totally the person that's like picking people out and smiling at them and breaking the barrier of like, band and audience. I hate that. I can't stand when people are like scared to go up to somebody and talk to them or blah, blah, blah. It's like, we're normal people. We're just like, this should be a break from normal life.
Some gigs where you just think back and you're thinking, man, we definitely crushed that gig. Sometimes you just feel like you're locked in so much and the audience is so involved and they're so receptive to what you're doing on stage. There's really no other experience I've had that can replicate it.
It's almost an out-of-body experience. Sometimes you're struggling and there's, you're all trying to find that tightrope together. But then when it locks in, it's almost like, and it's just like boom, and just like you get the goosebumps from yourself. You'll see a smile pop on the guy's face. All of a sudden, everything just has more energy. It's a high, honestly, and the fact that we get to do it so frequently is just incredible.
You can shoot the silver out, sip it reposado. You can stop at one, maybe I'll start a quattro. Put them boxes down, let's pour ourselves around. Turn this living room into a Mexican cantina, drinking his and her tequila.
For more information about our bands, go to bandinseattle.com, where you can watch Aaron Crawford's full concert.